And how about now? Can you hear me now? Okay. So, oh my God. So you did not hear a single word from me before that? That's really bad. Or you like, there was no one before Dipinder who just, pointed that out that I'm not audible. So I'm not getting the response. Were you unable to listen to anything at all that I spoke for these 6 minutes?
No, sir. And actually, I was looking for my
Simajit, just
computer.
give me a
Like,
second. I cannot hear you. Yes, Simajit, can you say now?
yeah. So
You were
actually,
unable.
sir, I was looking into my PC. Like, is there any problem with it? So that's why I thought something is bad from my end.
Okay, anyhow, thank you very much, Dipinder. I'm really thankful to you because Dipinder is the one who's, first pointing that out. And then came Simarjeet, and then came the others again. Okay, I'm sorry about that one. So again, I was talking about these roles and everything, and we talked for. I will talk about a little summary for this one because as you said that there was no sound, so I'll try to just give that over here. So I said that these are all the roles that explicitly can be permitted, and we can just permit any of the user. And as I said, we will be having a practical demo that will just create a user and we'll just do that. So we can explicitly assign these roles. And so as you know that like role is a collection of permissions. When you assign a user a particular role, you grant them all the permissions. So you have to be really careful when you are assigning the roles to particular users, because it's actually when the role is assigned, it's something that you are giving a complete complete what do you say that complete authority to that person. And you should be very careful while assigning those roles. So there are two types of roles: fixed roles and user defined roles, and we'll see that how to work with both of these type roles in the topics that follow. We'll just look at that one. So fixed roles are roles that are built into SQL Server. These roles can't be deleted, and the permission associated with them can't be modified. SQL Server provides two types of fixed roles: fixed server roles and fixed database roles. We'll see them as well when we see the demo. And then the syntax of alter server role statement. And as I told you, that alter server role is basically, that's one of the things that you are allowing user to do any activity. So alter server roles, we are saying that role name, add member, server principal, drop member, server principal, with name, something, we can just add a member as a server principal with some. So for example, there is an Alan Smith user and you want to just allocate that as a server principal. You can allow that, or you cannot, you will disallow that. And then a statement that assigns a user a server role: altered server role, sysadmin, add member John Doe. So John Doe becomes a sysadmin and server role also goes into that one. And that removes the user, alter server role, sysadmin, drop member John Doe. So because John Doe, we want to just remove that, drop that, and it will just ultimately drop that one, right? So some of the fixed roles, sysadmin. Do you see that in our database? We'll find that sysadmin is always there. Can perform any activity on the server. By default, all members of the Windows built-in / administrators groups are members of the sysadmin. So, its name suggests it's a system administrator type of thing. And it's basically, doing what? It's actually, having that roles, and then it's a super role type of thing. Security admin can manage login IDs and passwords for the server and can grant, deny, or revoke database permissions. So all of this can happen with that one as well. The server roles. Okay, and DB creator can create, alter, drop, and restore databases. So that is DB creator that we'll see. How to work with the user-defined roles. Now, in addition to that, SQL Server 2012 and later lets you create user-defined roles. Like the fixed roles, a user-defined server role consists of a set of permissions that you can grant to a user by giving them membership in the role. So, we'll create a user and we'll give them a membership in the role, and they would be basically, with that particular role or with that particular thing. Nayan, I see you unmuted. Do you want to say something? Okay. So unlike fixed roles, you can create your own user-defined server roles. You can modify the permissions associated with those roles, and you can delete those roles where necessary. Figure 1713, which will be just, maybe coming up, is two SQL Server statement used to create, delete user-defined server roles. So this might be the 17.3 maybe. So syntax of create server role. Create server role name, authorization, server principal. Dropping them, just give the name and it gets dropped. Statement that works with a user-defined server role, statement that creates new server role, creates server role that consultant, and a statement that grants permission to the new role. So again, altering them, and then altering the adding a member, new role, and assigning the new role to fixed server role. So you can do all those kind of things by the commands, and as I say, by using our SQL Server Management Studio as well. How to display information about the server roles and run. So that's very interesting, and that's something that we'll just try to see that as well. So we see that how to display information for any server role. Select name, principal ID is fixed role from sys.server principals where type is equal to R. So it will just go into that database and it will just try to find all those roles and servers. And we'll see that this slide number 38, we'll just see that when we start that one. How to display member information for any server role. So how many, which servers are, which users are with that role? We can just find that. Select member principal ID and name from sys.server role member as SRM, and then join sys.server principal as SP on SRM member principal ID, and it will just bring out that server role with that as typically as these rights. So how to display information to fixed server roles. The syntax for SP_help server role. This is basically SP help server roles, and it will just tell us that what server roles are there. A statement that lists the fixed server roles, exec SP_help server role. That would really give us. So what I feel is that let's start SSMS, because there are a few things that we can just check right now alongside. You guys should also open your SQL Server Management Studio first.
हाँ बोल। हाँ वो जुकाम और सर्दी बहुत हो रही है।
Sorry, do you want to say something, Mansi? Okay. So let's see a few commands running, and again, then we'll move to that one. So let's first of all run this one. Select name, principal ID, and is fixed role. Let's run that one. Let name. Let's put it on a side. principal ID is fixed role from sys.server principal. So we want to find out the principals role, principals, where type is equal to R. Right? Let's check that one. Okay, it says that invalid object name sys.server underscore principals. Maybe spelling. Did I mean a spelling mistake? Ah, yeah. Principal spelling is wrong, and it's wrong here as well. It's that principle. Server principles, right? Let's. Okay, so it said that you see that public, there's principal ID is fixed role 0, sysadmin 3, security admin, DB creator. So all these are the sysadmin roles. So again, this is basically showing what that server roles, like these are the information about server roles and role members. That is fixed role, yes or no. These are fixed roles basically. Server setup admin, server admin, security admin. These are the fixed role. They have these IDs. So that is typically that. Okay, and then as I showed you that if I want to just see that how many like typically that like all the server roles, if I want to see sp underscore help serve role, and if I run this one, look at that. It is just telling that what are the, it will list all the fixed fixed server roles. So it says sysadmin is a fixed role, security admin is a fixed role, server admin, DB creator, disk admin. These are all the fixed roles that we have. Make sense? And now if I just go into typical one, I say exec, like execute, and I say sp underscore help serve role and member. And what member? I want to see sysadmin. Right? So let's run that one and check whether what does it come up with. Query is still running. It should not take that much long, by the way, but it's taking. What is taking too long? Here it is, sysadmin SA Noman PC Noman. I created this in last class, if you remember, anti-server SQLite. So these are the server role administration over there. So these are the roles that we have just seen. Of course, these are the system administration roles, and we have just seen about them, right? Okay, so let's move forward. So if you want to alter that, fixed database roles, we can just alter role name and then add the member or drop the member with some name, whatever, you can just do that. A statement that assigns a user a database role, we can assign a typical database roles and all those kind of things. So the server fixed database roles, DB owner, access admin, security admin, DDL admin, data writer, data reader, deny data writer, deny data reader. All these are, the fixed database roles that we want to, that we have in our databases, right? So we'll see them in action shortly. How to work with user-defined database roles? The syntax of create role statement, create role, role name, authorization, owner name. So again, we can create a role for that typically user-defined database role. So user-defined database roles, like which type of activities you are allowing on a particular database to particular users is that, and you can assign that role or you can drop the role. These both of the options you can typically do that. Now then, statement that work with user-defined database role. A statement that creates a new user-defined database roles. Create role in invoice entry. Statement that grant permission. So again, grant insert update on invoices to invoice entry. So again, I create a role and I assign I assign a grant permission, And what is the grant permission? Insert and update. I can insert, like this invoice entry can insert and update. Do you feel something? It cannot select that one. It cannot read that one. It can insert that. So invoice entry, a role, we will just give to data entry operator. We don't want that data entry operator to read the data. We just, we say that, okay, you have this, permission to enter that one. You have to create that, insert that one, and update the data. Grant insert and update on invoice line items to invoice entry. So again, there is another table. In that table, you just give. So you are defining a role over here. So these are like, you have created a role and you are giving the permissions over here. After giving permission, statement that assign users to the new role, alter role, invoice entry, add member John Doe, add member Susan Roberts. So it's basically doing what? It's basically doing what? It's now adding this John Doe and Susan Roberts to that particular, to those particular roles, and that's something that it is just adding that. A statement that assigns a new role to fixed database role, alter role DB data reader, add member invoice. So this invoice entry goes to the fixed database role. Makes sense? It will go to the fixed database role, and fixed database role will be just showing that. A statement that change the name of the new role, alter role invoice entry with name invoice, with invoice entry. Now, why not? Let's go and try these commands and try that these roles again by the commands. And again, as I said, we'll just typically we'll see shortly that how to do that with our. Let me put that on a site. And let's create a role. Create role. Let's say again, we take the same name, invoice entry. Let's create that one. It's created, right? And now I can grant permission. I say grant insert update on. Now, which database we are talking about? Let's go to AP. We have worked with AP a lot. Let's see what AP comes up with the tables. For my, I told you this one, like it's it'll take a lot of time. Okay, yeah. So tables are coming. Tables are here. So for example, I say DBO terms. For example, I talk about this terms. For example, terms, right? And I would say basically to invoice entry. And now what I'll do is that I'll change the database from here to AP because it's going in the master right now. So now if I just do that, okay, it does not. So now it has just given that the role is created and this role has now being given this permission. And what we can do is that we can just add maybe any of the users if we have created, and we'll create the user let ultimately. But right now we are just creating that one. We will just add those to the member. So one thing that we can just do that right now is that we can add that particularly over there. But we'll look into this one later on. We'll be just changing those values. Now let's come back here. So these are alter and dropping and all those things. How to display information about database roles and role members. So if we want to see that database roles and role members, what are the permission? How to display database role? The syntax of sp_help role. We just tell then which help role we want to do. sp_help role. If I just go there and if I say it's exec, execute sp underscore help role. So let's see exec sp underscore help roles. Right. So let's see that. Maybe bad spellings. Help role sp underscore help role, not roles. Yeah. So yes, Nayan, you want to say something? Again, you are saying hello at. Okay, so it says public and then invoice entry. It says that 6 role IDs for the invoice entry that we have created. It has 6. So we have got one role over here. And then we have DB owner, DB access admin. So Nayan, are you with me from the start of the class? I think I told in the beginning, or maybe if you guys did not hear that. So just wait for the quiz. Are you here for the quiz? So you can just leave right now and and keep an eye on the window, and it will open at its own time. Nayan, are you here for the quiz only? You can just leave now. Thank you very much.
No, sir.
Right. So yes, so this will actually give us that what are the roles, and you see that it has created invoice entry, maybe app invoice query, whatever the roles, and it is just shows that those roles. How to display role member information? The syntax sp help role member. It will just tell us that what are the typical roles over there. So if I just say, for example, if I execute this and I find out help role member of invoice entry, let's see that, what it does. Exec, we want to execute what? We want to check that what are the help role member in invoice entry, which is not there. We have not done anything. So sp underscore help role member invoice entry. So we know that there is no, I've not allocated anyone till now. So it does not show anything because there is no member name because we have not allocated that one. And we will later on, we'll just go there and we'll later on just do role addition over there in that other thing, right? So let's move. So how to deny permissions granted by role membership? The syntax of membership spelling is not correct. The syntax of deny statement for object permissions is that deny permission, and we can just deny some particular permission and we can just cascade them to the particular thing. The syntax of deny statement for schema permissions is this one. If I want to just do that for the schema, and deny statement for the database, so we can just we can just typically give that to the user, and user will be able to remove that one. Now, the syntax of deny statement for server permissions, we will just deny the server permissions like that. I script that assigns membership to invoice entry role. So if I say alter role invoice entry, add member Martin Ray, so it's basically adding that particular user over there. So if you just say that a select statement enter by the user, if user, for example, Martin Ray enters this user select static from GL accounts, it will be able to just access that one because they will have that permissions in with them. I skip the deny select permission to GL accounts. So if we deny select on GL accounts or to Martin Ray, so now it will be denied and they will not be able to just do that. And when they just try to run this statement, they'll get that permission denied on object GL accounts, database AP schema DBO, and you are not able to basically do that. Right. So let's move. How to work with application roles. The SQL statement working with application roles. The create application role is basically here. Create application role with password something or schema. The syntax of drop application is basically drop application role. Just we give the name, no need for the options and anything. It just goes and drops that particular database role. And then system stored procedures for working with application roles. There are certain particular the system stored procedures. SP set app role, we give the name and the password and everything. It sets up the role. SP unset app role. So unset app role is again, we go to the cookie. If it is adding it to the cookie, it just goes there and just removes that particular role from that particular user. The statement that create application role and give it permissions. We create application role, app invoice entry with password. This one grant select on invoices to app invoice query. So again, we have just allocated that one. and this will do what? Application role and give it permission. So it will create an application role invoice query with password something, and we give the select statement or select permission to that particular role, which is app invoice query. So a script that run that select static from invoices, select set Apple role, app role, app invoice entry, and this password. Select static from invoices. It will just give the response. It will set permission was denied on object invoices, database, AP schema. Invoices, it won't allow that, but it will just read select permission on app invoice query. So because app invoice query is basically having that one, so it will set that we have the permission denied, and it's basically showing that table as well. So if you just come here, how to manage security management studio, and that is what I will be just showing you some real cool demonstration. We'll just talk about that one, and yes, that is what we are about to just do. So now all of you, please open up your management studio, and we'll just try to talk about some of the things over here. Right, so just to create a new user, if you want to create a new user, we'll just go to the security. For example, in this logins, I would say, for example, these are the server roles that we were talking about. You see that we have created one role, and it is just showing us all those roles over here. But these are the server roles, by the way, right? So we'll just come to that one. So login, right click on the login, and you say new login. And let's everyone create a login with, for example, some names. So Alan Smith. For example, I say Alan Smith, and I want to create this SQL Server authentication. And I would like to give 1, 2, 3, 4 password just for 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, in production environment, you would definitely want to have all these policies over there. But right now, I'm just saying that no, not enforce the policies. And right now, I would say that default database for this user, Alan Smith, is master right now. So for example, if I just change it and I just make it AP, for example, and I say this is now for AP, and if I just create that one, I've just created that login. If I just come here, and if I refresh that, so I have got this Alan Smith user over here. Make sense, everyone? We have got just this user, and now this user can be it can be used for defining or maybe making the permission. So again, for example, if I just right click on this one, and if I open up the properties of this, look at that. So this is the user Alan Smith, which has a password, which has just encrypted. And if you come to user mapping, so see that user mapping, and it will open up the user mapping. Look at that. Now here it is just showing that which user or which database I want to make it. So for example, I would say that map this with AP and make it a DB owner. Make sense, everyone? Make it a DB owner because I want it to be the DB owner of that one. And why not? Let's take maybe one more, or maybe take that bookstore as well. So bookstore also, I would say that make it a DB owner of that one as well. Make sense, everyone? It just creates that. Okay, so we have made this Alan Smith. If you look at that again, if I show user mapping of this user, so it is basically an owner of that one. But typically what we can do is that we can even say if it is AP, like it has all the rights for the AP Alan Smith. Now if I just come here and if I say to you that even in the AP database, if I just go to the database AP, if I go here, And I would like to say, for example, that there is some table, for example, invoices table. I don't want this Alan Smith to access this invoices table. Look at that, how I'll do that. I'll just right click on that one and click on the properties of this table. It's taking ages for me to, my system is getting older. It has not opened yet. I was opening the table properties. Does not show that. Does it show on your side? Anyone's? You have clicked that on showing that those properties. Okay, still does not show that. It's interesting. Why it is not showing the properties of table? I'll check for the other one now. Like right now, I'm just checking again for this, but next attempt I would like to make for the other. Okay, it's still not showing. So is it showing it for you for your side? Anyone? Jay? The properties of the table?
No, sir.
That's not showing? Okay. That is interesting. I'll try to have maybe anything else, terms. It's not showing that. It's interesting because I can just go and change the table properties as well for a particular user, but it's not opening up the table properties, and I'll have to maybe just restart my SQL Server Management Studio. You guys would have done that maybe. Try to do that. ready. It's not showing anything. Okay, first of all, I'll save this query for me. Show it when go snippet. I'd like to go into. So it's week 13, by the way, this one's. Let's save that, and I'll just, maybe restart my. Right now, let's connect with generally, and then we'll connect with the user as well. We go to the databases. That is quite interesting. And more interesting is that no one is able to see that, You guys are also saying that you cannot see the table properties. Anyone successfully having a table properties windows, for example, from here?
So actually, I don't have AP database, but when I'm checking for the other database, I'm able to see the properties.
Okay, right, right. So let's see, maybe. No worries about that, like AP database, Depinder. It's I have to just check that whether it's
Yes, sir. For
because
the other tables, it's showing.
hmm, okay, right. Let me see that maybe any other table, any other database. I'll just do that. Okay, the table is here, and if I just come to the others and if I say properties, oh, it does not show me any of this one as well. So anyone else like Depinder, if you are able to see that, can you please let me know? Can I have feedback from anyone else? Jay told me that Jay is not able to access that. Depinder says that of course most of the database are accessible, but he does not have AP. That's not a problem. Simarjit, can you access that?
Sir, my this SQL server is keep getting stuck like yours. So I have to close it and open it again. I have done it 3 times. I don't know why is it happening.
It is still the same like mine, Simarjit, right?
Yeah, it keep like getting stuck again and again. So This is the fourth time I'm reopening the application.
I think there's no use because it should work first up, right? Let's see what is going on with it. Jay, you also are having same problem till now, or you were able to just have
Yes,
something?
sir. Like I have stopped working on it. I will be closing it and then I will be working again.
So is it not still accessible?
No.
My God.
So I have just stopped it and I am just waiting patiently until your works and then I will be doing it again.
Mhm. I don't know why it's not opening up the table properties. It's really weird. Hmm. Let's see that. Okay, so any success on your side, maybe Jay or someone who's trying. And Dipinder, you are able to access. You say that you are able to access any table, like any databases table, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. It means there is something wrong with maybe I don't know because I want I'm just getting feedback from 2 to 3 people and they are just giving feedback. Otherwise, I'm not getting a whole lot of feedback so that I know because it's only Dipinder who just say that it's working for him, but not other than Dipinder. No one else is showing up. Then Jay and Simarjit. Simarjit, still you are also unsuccessful till now, like me.
Yes, sir, I'm still trying.
Mhm. Okay. I'll just do what now? Mm, What I'll do is that it's new number starting. Let me just try one more time and then we'll just take a break and we'll just come back. I'll try to fix it. Okay, if I just do that SQL Server authentication and I take that Alan Smith 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just logging in from the Alan Smith user now. I cannot connection was successfully stated, but then I reckon. Hmm. Okay, I'll go with the Windows authentication now. I could disconnect and connect it again with, try to connect that again with my Alan Smith and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not connecting. Disconnect and again connect that one. It's not logging on that user. That's interesting. Okay, let me see that what's going on with that. We will see that why it is not logging in. First of all, I'll Okay, it's still not working. Let me just find out. Let's take a break and let me announce one more time, because you might have missed that up. That after our session, I'll tell you the time when the quiz 2 will open. Right now, it is not open for your group, and it will open for ample time. Don't worry, but it will open at a particular time that I will tell you after our session. So let me just find out what's going on here, and then we can just maybe see that how we can just handle that one and how. So please join me after 15 minutes or so, and we'll see that how we can able to find out, right? So we have a break till 2:15 p.m., right? So I'll be back.